solar eclipse is an energy of light coming through old ways. The cardinal cross within the summer solstice solar eclipse, as the sun comes into Cancer, lighting up the self-worth, lighting up the self-love. When are you going to truly love yourself? The sun is saying this in Cancer. Love thyself by changing the life that I am living to loving the life that I am living, by making the changes that I need to make. The 4 cardinal signs in the cardinal cross that the summer solstice and the solar eclipse flows through has the power of Aries, the power of Libra, the power of Cancer, and the power of Capricorn. They are the leaders. And if you can find where the 4 signs are in your house chart, your 12 sections of your house, that's where you have to bring the leadership in those areas. That's where the action will happen. That's where the freedom will happen. That's where the equality will happen. That's where the love will happen. And that's where you will own your own authority to love yourself. And when you step through these fears that will be experienced and are being experienced in life, the endings, the turning points that we are at, we will step into love, a deepening love of the self, a surrendering to eventually say, whew, I can love myself now, no distractions. And when we start to really evolve in the love of ourselves, then that energy flows, spills out into the world. And then we start to say, we want more love in our world. We want a society that loves more. We want to honor statues of peacemakers, of life changers, of givers. That's the statues we want to honor, not the statues of war, not the statues of the old hierarchy of power and control. Is this the society that we want to live in? A society that persecutes genders, persecutes sexuality, persecutes colour, persecutes race, persecutes the weaker? When someone wins a war, it's not because they deserve to win it or it's their right. They usually win it because they have the bigger army. That's it. If you look in the history books, it's all to do with power, control, and brutality in every sense. So let's wake up and let's be real about our society that we have created through power, control, and brutality. Is this a society that we want for ourselves, our children, and our children's children? We have a great, really great moment here for this evolutionary transformation of a mind-based society into a heart-based world. And this is not just words I am saying. This is a true fact that is happening. The energies in the cosmos flowing into the earth at this time are revolutionary. We are evolving. This is the greatest evolvement of humanity. This is the greatest light shining on the earth at this point in time. And we are all being pushed forward. Some of us are like the hangman, waiting in the noose, dying for breath, wanting to live instead of allowing ourselves to die and pass through this energy and let the new way come in. Because see, power doesn't want to let go of power. Fear doesn't want to let go of fear. Anger doesn't want to let go of anger. And that's why it's holding on tight. We are not free. We are not free in human society. We are ruled. Our authority has been taken. Our power within us has been taken. We are told what to do, told where to go, told how to live, told what time to go to work. This is all ending. We are changing the clocks of time. We are changing the movement of time. And as the summer solstice passes through and the sunlight flows through Cancer and the solar eclipse happens on the cardinal cross, we are really in an iconic moment. It's a bit like the John Lennon. He had a cardinal cross that was so emphasized with the light that he changed how his life was, losing his parents very young, the grief of that. And he brought that grief, not through anger, into compassion and love for all who was suffering and loss in some great way. And in his song, Imagine all the people, not just me, he was saying, imagine all the people. And he was an icon for peace. And he was very much in his feminine energy. He had birthed his divine masculine and his divine feminine. And Ono was in her masculine energy, supporting his work. You see, when the male is vulnerable in this man-made world, they're classed as weak. They're classed almost as feminine and vulnerable. Where a vulnerability is the divine feminine receptive energy coming through the male. And if more males would allow their divine feminine energy to come in, we would have less suicides. You know, the highest suicide rate is males. And this is because they are not allowed to be the divine feminine energy into expressing their beauty. So they feel that they are weakened. We're not realizing the release of the heart is the most powerful force. The same as the female that is empowered, the female that is trying to become more independent. She can be classed as too male, too forceful. This is the divine male coming through the female to bring balance and equality into a male-based world. We are not honouring these things in the male and female and bringing them together in union as the new male and female. To allow the female to be independent, to allow the female to bring the world forward, there would be less war, less murder. There would be more dialogue and cooperation. And let the male be more vulnerable and open. What a quality we would birth as a nation. So all that is happening on the global scale comes into the community and then comes into our personal life. The solar eclipse is creating a ring of fire. What are we married to? An established idea that no longer works, an established family that no longer serves us, a partner that no longer serves us, a mindset that no longer serves us, a belief system that no longer serves us. Who are we married to in this ring of fire that needs cleansed? That's what we have to look at. There is a turning point. There is endings at a very deep level as the solar eclipse passes through directly on the moon node. We are in the greatest energies of evolvement. So you will be experiencing many frequencies, many vibrations of interference in your computers, your telephone, your TV. Anything to do with media will have very, how would I say, a lot of white noise coming in, a lot of disruption. Because the energies are so extreme. Sleeping, you will not be sleeping. Forget about it. It's incredible that you could sleep with these energies coming in. The frequencies are too high. There may be a sense of feeling lost, feeling abandoned, thinking about your childhood. There may be weeping for the past that's being healed. And then finding a new sense of self coming in. Just a sense of self as these seeds of change happen, as this deepening happens within myself, as the balance and the mother energy, as I heal the tears of the past. So, everybody, this is a lot going on, isn't it? It really is. So we are cleaning up. And a lot of us are hanging about, holding on. But as I said before, birthing is very, very difficult. It brings pain. It brings fear. It can bring loneliness. It brings the sense of unknown, what could happen. We have to push through the birth, and then we have to pause in the birth. We have to breathe through the birth. Yeah. So it is difficult to birth the new you. Very difficult. Through the old structures, through the old mindsets, through the old feelings, through what we identify with, through what we belong with. So I want you to pull back your sense of belonging from everything and everyone. And like the Fool in the tarot card, drop everything and take your bag on your back, a very light bag, and say, I'm going to start again. Start again from a new point. Start looking at your life differently. Start looking at the people in your life differently, because new people are going to enter, new people are going to come into your life, new friends are going to come into your life, new communities. Everybody is going to be experiencing this on some bigger scale and then a lower scale. There will be great deaths, great iconic deaths happening in so many ways. Deaths of societies, death of people, death of belief systems. Really, it is quite, how would I say, a spiritual cleansing at the highest level. Bring yourself back to the divine. Find the divine in your life. Make peace with yourself, your wrongdoings, how you've thought, how you've acted. Allow yourself to be forgiven in this new energy in the summer solstice. And let the abundance of the summer come in. The fruits of plenty can come in. So we need to be more of a family. We have to stop judging ourselves, which will help us stop judging humanity. Because that's what we do. We judge ourselves, and then that judgment flows out into the world. And in the judgment, we kind of find ourselves and think, this is who I am. Do you know who you are? Do you really know who you are? Do you know you're not your name? You're not your body? You're not your nationality or your belief system? Do you know that you are a conscious essence, a formless energy that is flowing through this vessel as you speak? Waveforms, light, color, tone, expressing beyond this moment as I speak, connected to everything and everyone. That's who you really are. And your vessel has been created through your essence. So take your power back in the solar eclipse. Let the sun come in to your light within you that wants to be ignited. Let the sun light up your light and remember itself. So as you look in your birth chart, Aries, Libra, Cancer and Capricorn, see where those are placed in your chart and what activity is happening in that area of your life. There's going to be balance, freedom, equality, loving, nurturing, owning your own authority, and new ways coming in. Let it really break down and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The divine has you in his hands. Really has you in his hands. Open up your belief. Trust yourself. Trust the whispers in your heart. Trust your inner calling. Trust that everything is perfect. And allow yourself to open. Open like a flower to the light. Thank you for listening. I'm Roisin Campbell from Rainbow Lighthouse. If you would like to connect with me in a more personal, deeper aspect, you can book a one-to-one session on live through Zoom. You can join my Sunday 6 p.m. evening prayer every Sunday. You can connect to my next clearing event, which is on the 5th of July, our full moon, and that is going to be connected to the energies of Switzerland. If you would like to join that and want to allow the Swiss energy of the Alps to come through you and to raise your consciousness with like-minded beings, light workers and leaders that want their lives to change into this new earth, this is a very powerful clearing event on the full moon on the 5th of July. You can join energetically or you can join online in the meeting itself. You can contact the office or email us on Rainbow Lighthouse.